Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is KarQ and welcome to the Predator Training Room. In today's segment, we're going to go over how to optimize your mouse, keyboard, and sound settings on the Predator Triton 700 laptop. Let's get started. So here we've got the Predator Triton 700, perfectly capable of running Overwatch at high settings with its built-in 7th generation Intel Core i7-7700 HQ processor and the graphics card of an NVIDIA GTX 1080. But before we launch Overwatch, there are a couple of things we have the option to do about sound. Now this is dependent on if you're using stereo headphones or surround sound 5.1 or 7.1 headphones. Some people have said certain settings are more noticeable and better than others, but I feel like at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide by playing around with all of them. Now here's what I use personally. So with the Windows 10 Creators Update a little while back, you can go over to the sound icon on the bottom right, right-click, and in the middle of the options you should see one called Spatial Sound. There are two options, Windows Sonic and Dolby Atmos. Windows Sonic is Microsoft's free built-in option which emulates sound in a 3D space to help your games, movies, and TV shows feel more immersive with localized sounds coming from different directions. Dolby Atmos is essentially the same thing. They were actually the first to publicly provide spatial sound as an option. However, I do believe you need to pay for it. It just so happens Dolby Atmos was provided and licensed already on this Triton 700 laptop. Now Overwatch actually has Dolby Atmos designed and built into the game itself, so what I suggest is to try both options out. Windows Spatial off, Dolby Atmos enabled in-game, or Windows Sonic on and Dolby Atmos off in-game. Now once the sound is set up, open the Predator Sense application that comes with your Triton 700 and let's clock up our GPU and launch Overwatch. Now the first thing to do is to change the mouse sensitivity. The Overwatch in-game sensitivity defaults at 15 and is a multiplier to the DPI you have set on your mouse. To find your DPI, download the mouse software that corresponds to the brand and model that you're using. For general terminology, most people reference their eDPI, which is their in-game sensitivity multiplied by their DPI. For example, I use 1600 DPI and 2.9 in-game sensitivity, meaning my eDPI is 4640. I've seen pro players on both ends. I think Jonak of the New York Excelsior plays at an eDPI of 1800, while his teammate Pine plays at over 7000 eDPI. I do feel like anything over 10,000 or 12,000 starts to get a little insane. Playable for some heroes like Reinhardt, Winston, Pharah, but very difficult to track and aim properly for other heroes such as Widowmaker or McCree. Find a sensitivity and master it based on the mousepad space you have available. For the key bindings, there are a few that I customize. The first is melee, and by default it is bound to V on the keyboard, but I've always felt it slightly unnatural to have to either pull my left thumb up to use it or drag my index finger so far off to reach it. I have it rebound to F personally, but I do know a lot of players that bind it to a mouse button, so that option is available as well. My push to talk key is bound to my side mouse button. Players often have two options for this to communicate in-game. They either bind a push-to-talk key, or they bind it as toggle to mute, and leave their microphone option in the sound settings as open mic. Now, the interact key is bound on V, the old default button for melee. The interact key is only available for Sombra players to destroy their translocator, Torbjorn to destroy his turret, and I guess for every other player to take a friendly Symmetra's teleporter. Now for more custom key bindings, everything for the most part is default. I am a support player, and the only things I change personally are for Lucio and Zenyatta. For Lucio, I bind my mouse wheel down as an additional option to jump. This helps me tremendously when I wall hop because now all I have to do is just keep rolling my mouse wheel down while I'm jumping and the game will quickly register multiple jump inputs, allowing me to bounce very easily. I still keep the spacebar bound to jump in case I want to hold the walls. Finally, for Zenyatta, I have his Harmony and Discord orb rebound to mouse wheel up and down respectively. This allows me to move and strafe around without having to lift my fingers off the directional keys to press E and to quickly Discord orb targets. Hopefully now you got a better understanding on how to optimize your settings, which will improve your play. I'm KarQ with the Predator Training Room. Until next time.